Good evening, Warhawks. Actually, it's probably going to be good morning to you all when you hit Nest tomorrow morning. This is Miss Lesby. I am sitting at my desk. It's 8:02 Monday night, and I wanted to go over some things with you in Nest today, as I have been pondering lots of things over the last 3 days about all the events of last week. So first, I want to take a moment, again, like I haven't praised you already, to praise you and tell you how wonderful you handled things here at Great Crossing High School last week. Having a gun on our campus is absolutely a serious matter, and I know that all of you took it seriously. I haven't gone anywhere since Wednesday that someone hasn't stopped me to tell me how well they felt like we handled things. And while I completely appreciate their kindness and their sincerity in this matter, I want to revisit a couple of things with you. When you see something wrong, you have to say something. It doesn't matter if it's drugs or alcohol or vaping or weapons, it just doesn't matter. The way we are going to make Great Crossing High School a different place is for you, all of you, not just some of you, not just one or two of you, but for all of you to stand up and demand that things are going to be different here. And I mean it. We have to stand up together and be one. We are one. Great Crossing High School is one. All of you make up part of one. I also want you to know, changing subjects just a little bit, how much I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have had for extracurricular events last week. Football team, I got to give it to you. And it's not just the football team. There's lots of you here, but the football team came out strong, and they brought the boom at the volleyball game this past week against Henry Clay. And I want you to know that Friday night, the beach out was completely amazing. I have had so many people walk up to me and go, I don't know what you guys are doing there, but the culture seems amazing. And I have to agree 100%. You guys are doing this. It's not me. It's you. You're doing this, and it is so cool to watch you from afar, looking up in the stands and seeing all of you dressed up and you're fired up, and it's just really cool. One little tip for those of you that didn't know this, the I believe that we will win cheer needs to only happen when we are for sure gonna win a game or a match, and it needs to happen almost at the very end. Guys, I saved you at the volleyball game. You're welcome. You're so welcome. But anyway, you're still awesome in my book, and I loved all your spirit and your cheer that you brought to the games this week. Moving on to something else, vaping. Let's get something straight. You know you're not allowed to vape in school. I'm going to be blunt with you about this, not like you're surprised about that at all. I don't want to breathe that stuff. And it's a hot mess. And I don't think a bunch of your peers want to breathe it either. And I'm being honest with you, it really does kind of scare me. No one knows the long-term effects of vaping, but I want to share this story with you that I found online this weekend. So it's a teenager who vaped every day for 3 years was put into a medically induced coma after her lungs started to deteriorate. Maddie Nelson, 18, from Nephi in the U.S. state of Utah, was taken to the hospital in late July with a high fever and intense kidney pain. She was also struggling to breathe. The nurses tried giving her oxygen, hoping that it would help, but it wasn't enough. Nelson's sister, Andrea Fulmer, wrote on a GoFundMe page. Days later, the 18-year-old, who is the youngest sibling in the family, was rushed to intensive care where she could barely breathe or draw a breath. After an x-ray of her chest showed her condition was severe, Nelson's family and doctors decided to put her into an induced coma. This was a hard decision for us to make. Her condition seemed to be getting worse fast, and we were scared that we may never be able to see or talk to our sister again, Fulmer wrote. It was while she was in a coma that doctors diagnosed the teenager with acute eosinophilic pneumonia caused by vaping. Nelson told Fox 13 that she had vaped every day for 3 years. I thought vaping was fine, she said. I did all the tricks, all the time. But it was only after she woke up from her coma that she learned the real damage of habit has caused. I had fat particles growing inside my lungs that were related to the glycerin in vape juice, Nelson said. So then my lungs were full of fluid, and they said that my chest x-rays were one of the worst they'd ever seen. But Nielsen, who was in a coma for 3 days, made a massive improvement after being given steroids to combat the inflammation. Although the teenager initially recovered, she still needs to use oxygen at night and continues to be monitored. It's very scary because the doctors don't know the long-term effects of this, Nielsen said. So they don't know what the healing process is even supposed to look like. And I also want you to know that I wasn't sure what day, it's been in the last few days, but Kevin Burris, the CEO of Juul, here was his message. The CEO of Juul said, don't vape, don't use Juul. Don't start using nicotine if you don't have a pre-existing relationship with nicotine. Don't use the product. You're not our target consumer. Guys, vapes were originally created and used for people to try to get them to stop smoking. I'm not saying that some of you should stop smoking. I'm not saying, some of us, we all make choices. We all make choices. But I'm telling you that you need to not do it because no one knows the long-term effects of what vaping is doing to your body. And there are teenagers all over the nation right now that are currently hospitalized, and they're trying to care for their lungs, and their lungs are really damaged. So beyond that, you can hear the horror stories and still choose to vape. But please know this. There are people in this building that want no part of that, and I'm one of them. Guys, don't do this in classrooms. Don't do this in bathrooms. Don't do this in hallways. Don't do this on campus. One, if you get caught, you're going to have consequences, and I'm not going to give you your vape back. You need to know that. That's just plain and simple. But the bigger truth to the matter is, it's just not okay for you to choose potential harmful effects to someone else for something that you're doing. That's not fair. That's 100% not fair. So if you're going to do it, and I'm telling you that I don't think you should, you need to do it off campus when you're at home. Don't bring any of that stuff to school, and please don't vape in the building. Let's see. I think I have gone over all of the stuff that I've wanted to with all of this. Guys, please just know how proud I am to be a Warhawk. How proud I am to sit at football games and have parent after parent walk up to me and talk about how great your all's weeks are. You know, my student is coming home and they're saying, hey, it's been a wonderful experience so far. I want that to continue. I want us to continue doing fantastic things and having the community say great things about us. But we have to choose. We all have to make choices to do the right things. We have to do the right things. We have to say the right things. And we have to be in our present state of mind all the time that people are watching us. I'm letting you know that the Warhawk Nation is not just 1,453 students deep. The Warhawk Nation is reaching out to middle schools. It's reaching out to elementary schools. And all of these kids are watching everything that you do. So please know that the things that you do, the things that you say, the things that you text, the things that you tweet, the things that you snap, the things that you Insta, I think I've covered it all other than my Facebook stuff, which I'm old and that's okay. I'm down with Facebook. Your parents are down with Facebook. They love me on Facebook. That's where we are. The adults are there. Anyway, I want you guys to have an amazing rest of your week. It's a short week, so that's another good thing too. But please just know that we're all in this together. If you need me, you know where I am. You'll see me in the hallways. You'll see me at lunch. But anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Know that you're all super special to me. And I know I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, Warhawks.